I am very happy that it's nice to find another Welsh guy, you know?
Well, there we go. There's not many of us, is there? We got South and North covered. We need someone in
Yes.
Mid Wales now.
We need someone in Mid Wales. All of the 20 people in Mid Wales, they can.
And then lockdown come, and I thought, what can I do? Well, show off me comics.
Yeah.
That's how I started. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. Hi, everyone. Me again. Welcome to episode 4 of Backstory. You know the drill by now. It's a talk show where I'm bringing on other comic-based YouTubers to join me and have a chat so we can find out what got them into comics and all that kind of geeky stuff, and we'll be able to shed light and break the stereotype of what makes a comic book and what makes a comic book reader themselves. So this week, we're going to dive in to the mind of another Welsh comic YouTuber. It is Lee from the RetroCave Comics. How you doing?
Hello, Scott. Yes, I'm very happy to be actually on here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you, man.
Yeah, no, I love the stuff you've been doing on Scott's shelf. So yeah, I'm glad to be here, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. It's been fun. It's been a bit of a journey, and still finding my feet. But I feel like this could be a good feature to just keep going, and and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, because actually, sort of in YouTube, we're sort of in the same circles, aren't we?
Yeah.
Sort of on Instagram and YouTube, it's like we work for the same company but in different departments. So it's good to actually be with you on here now.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm glad, man. Yeah, this is the first time we've actually spoken, like, I would say face to face, but you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, we've spoken on Instagram before, and like, you've seen me on like Dino's channel, and I've seen you on Dino's channel, but we've never been on the same thing on Dino's channel.
This is the North and South Welsh.
Yes, North. You're from North Wales. I'm from South Wales, and we were just saying now it's actually really nice to find someone from Wales. And you said because you started not just before me, like a month or two before me. So, and you said you thought you were the only one.
And then you came along, Scott.
I've ruined it. I'm sorry.
No. You've got South Wales covered now. Yeah. There's someone in Mid Wales, and then
okay, we'll smash it. We'll take Wales by storm. The three of us, whoever that third person is.
We'll find them.
Yeah, you've got quite an impressive bunch of stuff behind you.
I have
a lot of books.
Well, I say impressive. It's books. It's my wife's sort of nightmare. Yeah. But yeah, I've been collecting a long time.
Yeah, how long have you been collecting?
I would say I've been collecting tat all my life, but actual good stuff. I've been collecting since I was working. So I'd say a good 20 years. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So have you kept all of that stuff from the 20 years, or have you sold some of it?
Yeah.
Or?
I'm not a hoarder, so I am able to get rid of stuff that I don't want or need, So old stuff goes, new stuff comes, depends really. But I have got certain things that I've kept since childhood that mean something to me. So yeah.
Yeah, the kind of nostalgic factor.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the amount of people I've spoken to now, everyone has got that sentimental, either that one book or a few, like a series or like a selection of books. Everyone's got a few that they just cannot sell, and even if they are worth £1 million, they just wouldn't get rid of it.
No.
And I think
I've got one that's worth sort of zero, and I would, it's not worth anything to anyone else, but to me, it's priceless.
Yeah,
so
of course.
That's why I keep it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. But so you've been collecting for 20 years. Good stuff.
Yeah, but the better stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah, the better stuff.
Okay, we're gonna get to a segue. Do you remember your first comic? Does that kind of go? Is that with that 20 years, or is it before then?
It is ish. No, it's before then. It's a long before then. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, like we said, I was growing up in the 80s in North Wales in a market town. I had access to no American comics at all. And they're few and far between. So my diet of comics during them days was all British stuff. So I had like Beano, Dandy, Cheeky, sort of stuff you probably never heard of. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me. That was me for a good 10 years, I would say. But it wasn't the single issue stuff. I was one for picking up like the annuals. Yeah.
Right.
So, and I kept these. These have been in an attic for a long time. And I used to get them every year, get them for Christmas.
Yeah. It was the kind of stuff you'd get from Woolworths.
That's the one, yeah. You'd see them come out in October, and I'd be going into Woolies with my mum or my nan, and I knew I'd be getting one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the 90s or the late 80s stuff I liked. I really liked the 70s sort of Ken Reed art sort of stuff.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you know a character called Frankie Stein. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. But if you Google it, if you see a picture of him, Frankie Stein.
Okay.
It was like, and there was another character called Faceache. And
okay.
The art was sort of beautifully grotesque. I mean, that sort of 70s, 80s art by Ken Reed and others, they had like, big buck teeth, big eyes, spots and zits. And as a kid in the 80s with like minimal sort of TV channels to choose from,
yeah,
these grotesquely beautiful characters were just like everything, and I would spend hours just looking at these panels and like dreaming that I could one day draw like this, and I can't. Like, it was a dream dashed many years ago.
You're not an artist.
Not an art. Well, not an artist like that. No, but I honestly, every sort of weekend, I would go to my nan and granddad's, and I could just remember lying in my bed with a torch, staring at panels for like what seemed like hours, just looking at single panels because they were so busy with. Like the actual comic strip themselves was very thin. It was like a one gag sort of 4 pages. Someone's getting a custard pie in their face. That was the gag, but the panels themselves had so much going on. It was like you'd see in the background like little drunk rats running around, or you'd see something on the wall, sort of like a nail with somebody hanging off it. It's just things you wouldn't see the first time around. And I would just study these sort of panels for hours and hours and hours. I loved it. Yeah,
that's cool because you've got like books like Secret Wars, and I'm talking about Secret Wars because that's one of the only ones I've read from the 80s, and that's from the Nerd Herd. A little bit of a plug there. And they were kind of 4 coloured panels, weren't they? And there wasn't a lot of detail, so it's interesting to see that you've got that's what 80.
Well, these were this was an 82, and these are 2 coloured panels.
Let me just put you on.
Yeah, so these are like 2 colour. So it's a Desperate Dan one, but very very sort of minimal, save on money, 2 colours. And I used to love this stuff. I couldn't get enough of it. I remember, I don't know if you did the same when you were in school, but we used to have like coffee mornings in school, which was basically you'd bring in all your tat and sell it to raise money for whatever it was.
Yeah, and they had like bits of school fetes,
Yeah, like a school fete. I remember I used to go there, and the first thing I would look for was boxes underneath these pasting tables, because they used to have like decorating tables up with all the stuff on.
Yeah.
But I knew that underneath where the boxes were the big books, because they were too heavy to go on the top.
Yeah.
And I would go straight to these, and I'd be picking these out for like 20p. I'll have that, I'll have that. And I'm just carrying these books home, and I'd be so happy, and then they all went. I got a few left, but I used to have maybe 50 or 60 of these.
Where did they go?
I don't know. I have no idea.
No?
No, I went in the army in 2000.
Okay.
And I come out the army, they'd gone. So somebody's got all my Beanos. Yeah, but
my God.
Whatever. Yeah.
Mum or Dad chucked them out.
They probably did. They got rid of them. Yeah.
These are old. He doesn't need them anymore. Oh man. So okay. So those are the. So how old were you?
How old? I'm 37 now. So 83.
Yeah.
I was born. Yeah. So I was reading these round about 88. I would say 89. Well, I wouldn't say reading them because I didn't really. It wasn't the actual writing in these books. It was more visual. It was the visual sort of art. So I would just look at them. But I would say my first sort of memory of the American stuff, I always remember watching the 70s Spider-Man movie. Have you ever? Well, the TV movie. Do you remember? Have you ever seen it?
No, I've seen. I think if I'm thinking of the right thing, I've seen pictures and clips. Yeah, and the costume isn't great.
It's like
Am I thinking of the right one?
Yeah, you probably are. Yeah, I think there was a few of them. Now, obviously, that was a made-for-TV movie in the 70s, and
budget was low.
It was low budget. It was, but some of the stunts in it were pretty cool. You see him swinging outside of like apartment blocks, and
Yeah.
The fighting choreography was no good, and it was filmed in that 70s sort of film, which was a bit charming, but a bit naff as well. But that was the first time I sort of seen these American sort of superheroes. It was like Spider-Man and the Batman TV series on a
Yeah.
Sunday morning. I used to watch that all
Like
the
Adam
time.
West Batman.
Adam West,
Yeah.
yeah, which was like a live action cartoon, really.
Yeah.
Because I even now I can't remember storylines from that show, but I remember visual. I could tell the visual sort of arcs of the story, and but the actual storyline itself, I couldn't really tell you what was going on. I was young, but I was
Right.
just fixated on this sort of colourful camp sort of thing that was coming at
Yeah.
me, and I was like, yeah, this is
Colorful
cool.
camp thing.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
re- especially sort of the Joker would come on. He was the bad guy, the
Yeah.
Penguin or Catwoman, and you had Batman and you had Robin, and it was very similar. Every episode there was something dodgy going on. Batman would save the day, and I don't remember the stories, but I remember loving watching it, just watching the whole sort of thing on the TV.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it for a long time, and it's probably a lot different to how I remember it going back
Yeah.
then. But yeah,
I can
yeah,
imagine you just watching it now and being like, "What the
yeah.
hell is
What
this?"
was this? What was I thinking? I used to think it was the best thing on TV. And the movie, I loved the movie. But like I said, it was the 80s. There was no
Yeah.
streaming service. There
What?
was no sort of, I couldn't do anything. So if I
No,
missed that movie, I missed it. I'd have to wait
missed
for
it.
some sort of rerun. So yeah, but
Wow.
good times back
Yeah.
then.
Good times. I mean, I've seen the movie. I've seen the Adam West movie.
Oh, the other West
Uh,
movie with
yeah.
yeah, with the
Yeah.
shark repellent one.
That's
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
main thing. The shark repellent spray. I think
Even that movie, I couldn't tell you what it was about. I
same.
can't remember what it was about, but I enjoyed watching it. But it just doesn't stay in. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Well.
fun though. It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
So do you remember your first American comic then, or
not really, but I would
no?
imagine it was an annual, and it was
Right.
probably a Batman annual at the time. Um, I remember buying my first. I know I read them before I bought them, but I just can't remember which one it was. But I
Right.
remember buying my first DC books, and they were secondhand from like a car boot sale or something. And I bought a few, and they were like Batman. I think there was some Justice League in there, a lot of DC stuff, and I think
Yeah.
that's why I read a lot of DC stuff now because of the memories I had using my pocket money to
Yeah.
buy these books.
Because you prefer DC over Marvel, don't you?
I do, but it's not. It's not. I've got nothing against Marvel.
Yeah. You
I'm
don't
more than
hate it.
happy to. Yeah, I'm more than happy to read Marvel. It's just that at the moment I read a lot more DC. Saying that, I got Spider-Man. I subscribe to Spider-Man. I subscribe to what else was from Marvel? Spider-Man. I don't know.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah. No, Venom. Venom as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Band Spider-Man. Yeah.
and Spider-Man. That's sort of
Yeah.
that world.
Yeah.
But I have read the Donny Cates Thor. I've started to read that on
I've
Marvel
got that,
Unlimited.
but haven't read it.
Well, I enjoyed the first two issues. I've just read them now, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Can I tell you? I had a bit of a steal. So I went down to my comic shop,
Yeah.
and he like it's not a comic shop, but they have a lot of comics. They have
Yeah.
loads of stuff everywhere. So I went there. I was just looking around, and I noticed in the bottom over here they had value packs. So
All
he
right.
just packs together like a little series of comics and whatever. And I'm looking through here, and I get about halfway down, and I see this like Thor. Donny Cates, issue 1 to 6, that arc. Bear in mind, issue 5 at the moment is selling for about £25 on
Yeah.
eBay.
Yeah. It's pretty hot.
I bought that was going for, and I bought it for £15.95
Really.
for the
Not
first 5
bad, Scott.
issues, and
Not
then
bad.
I gave that to him, and he goes, "Issue 7's by there, mind." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, no problem. I'll have that as well. Check it on the pile." So in total, I paid £19.50 for the first 7
7.
issues of Thor.
Very jealous because I really enjoyed that Thor. And the
Yeah.
only reason I've read it is because I've just got a 7-day free trial with Marvel Unlimited. So,
Right.
and they've just put the Thor 1 to 5 on there, I think.
Oh,
So I've
nice.
just started reading it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I like Marvel. I like the movies, and I like some of the older books. I just at this moment I've got a lot more on the DC side than the Marvel.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair enough. Like I've always said, I've preferred the Marvel movies over the DC movies, but DC
yeah.
books over Marvel books.
Yeah, and I've got a few friends who sort of they're quite diehard fans, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm not reading Batman or something." I'm like, just read it, just try it, read one
Yeah.
issue at least before you judge a book. Give it a go,
Did you
Even if I
stop
do
yourself
a,
then saying judge a
uh,
book by its cover?
I was
Because
going, I was going to, yeah.
that's all you can
But
do with comics.
well, yeah, that's it. That's why
Yeah,
I'm trying to, yeah.
yeah,
But I will say that I would never do a review on my channel and tell people not to read a certain issue. Even if I didn't like it, I would say, go out and try it yourself because
mm,
I think there's too many people who get put off by online critics and they
yeah,
may be missing out on something really cool. So
yeah,
I'm open to Marvel, DC, Image, Boom, whoever it is, I'll give it a
yeah,
go, you know.
yeah. Because
So
at the end of the day, you don't really like. It's your opinion at the end of the day, isn't it? With all the reviews,
yeah,
because you might hate it, but I might love it,
yeah,
and
that's it. That's it.
you don't want to go, this is terrible, and then I go, oh, okay, I'll trust Lee. It's
Yeah,
terrible. It's the worst book
don't
ever.
trust me.
I'm not going to read it. So yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm not saying
yeah.
don't trust you, but
No,
yeah, I know what you
I'll
mean.
give my opinion, but I will always urge people to try it themselves.
Yeah, and you'll try to
Yeah,
be fair and everything,
try to
and
be fair. Yeah.
yeah, nice, nice.